Director of the Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office, Xia Baolong, highlighted the importance of cooperation between the executive, legislative, and judicial branches, and said the three branches must work together for the interest of citizens and Hong Kong. Xia made the comment at the Chinese Association of Hong Kong and Macau Studies seminar in Beijing on the topic of the application of Special Administrative Regions executive-led system. Celine Chan has more.
Held in Beijing, the seminar's theme is upholding and improving the executive-led system to promote good governance in the special administrative regions. Director of the Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office, Xia Baolong, delivered a speech in the seminar. In his speech, Xia highlighted that the executive-led political system is the key principle in the design of the SAR's political structure under the Basic Law. Originating from the country's constitution, the principle serves as the institutional guarantee for the implementation of one country, two systems. Holding the leading position in the system, the chief executive and the government represents the overall interests of Hong Kong and Macau and constitutes the best form of a political organization for a high degree of autonomy. Xia pointed out that Hong Kong faced enormous challenges in implementing the governing mechanisms, with anti-China and external forces trying to advocate for the separation of powers, hoping to weaken the authority of the chief executive and the SAR government, thereby to undermine the authority of the central government. Xia said such behavior was absolutely not permitted, and authorities must also stay vigilant. He emphasized that collaboration was the key to the executive-led system. The executive, legislative, and judicial branches must work together for the well-being of the citizens and the city's overall interest. As such, the lawmakers must support the government all the time while ensuring they are not overstepping the bounds while supervising the government. Xia outlined 5 points of expectations for the Legislative Council members, including cultivating a deep sense of national sentiment and patriotism, and serving the public with dedication and striving to find solutions to the citizens' pressing concerns and difficulties. Chen Xiaobo, the newly appointed vice president of the Chinese Association of Hong Kong and Macau Studies, said the SAR government, as the head of the city, must excel in governance and properly manage the relationship between the SAR and the central government. The seminar's Hong Kong's venue was set up at the government headquarters. Chief Executive John Lee, Director of the Liaison Office of the Central People's Government Zhou Ji, were among those who attended. This one, Macau's Chief Executive Sam Ho Fai, Director of the Liaison Office of the Central People's Government in Macau, Zheng Xingcong, attended the seminar at the Enclave's venue. Celine Chan, TVB News.
Chief Executive John Lee said the number of companies in the city with parent companies located outside Hong Kong reached a record high. Lee's comment came at the opening of the Asian Financial Forum at the Convention and Exhibition Center. Mimo Singhai reports.
The 19th Asian Financial Forum gathered more than 3,600 international representatives from sectors ranging from business leaders to academics. Chief Executive John Lee and Zhou Ji, Director of Beijing's Liaison Office in Hong Kong, were among the guests of the two-day event. In a speech, the CE said Hong Kong had achieved unprecedented results in attracting enterprises last year.
The number of foreign and mainland affiliated companies was 11,070 in 2025, which is up 11% from the year before. That's a record high number of firms with their parent companies located outside Hong Kong. We've seen a robust growth of companies coming from a wide range of places, from Singapore, France, Australia, the United States, and Switzerland have all risen by over 11%. Companies from countries in ASEAN and the Middle East have grown respectively by some 10% and 5%.
Meanwhile, Invest Hong Kong released its annual report of 2025. A total of 560 overseas and mainland companies established in the city last year, a 4% rise compared to 2024. Most of the companies came from these top sources: Chinese mainland, US, Singapore, UK, Canada, and Japan. The companies can be categorized in 5 main sectors: financial services and fintech, INT, family offices, tourism and hospitality, and consumer products. Foreign foreign direct investment brought to the city by the new companies amounted to nearly $69.4 billion. These companies are also expected to create 10,748 job opportunities. The government said it expects to welcome at least 220 more family offices to set up or establish operations in Hong Kong by 2028. Mums 9, TVB News.
The Financial Services and the Treasury Bureau signed a cooperation agreement with the Shanghai Gold Exchange to establish a high-level collaborative governance structure for Hong Kong's new gold central clearing system. Celine Chan has more.
The agreement was signed during the Asian Financial Forum in the presence of Chief Executive John Lee and Zhou Lan, Deputy Governor of the People's Bank of China. Secretary for Financial Services and the Treasury Christopher Ho and Shanghai Gold Exchange Chairman Yu Wenjian signed the agreement. The agreement covers two areas of cooperation, including the establishment of a high-level collaborative governance structure for Hong Kong's new gold central clearing system. The Hong Kong Precious Metal Central Clearing Company Limited will be wholly owned by the HKSAR government. It will be chaired by Christopher Ho, and a representative from the Shanghai Gold Exchange will serve as the deputy chairperson. The Shanghai representative will contribute to the preparation of the system, the formulation of rules, the admission of participating institutions, and other areas. The agreement would also open new avenues for physical infrastructure synergy and market interconnectivity. The two sides will explore leveraging the Shanghai Gold Exchange's well-established physical warehousing management regime to provide secure gold management services for participants in both Hong Kong and international markets. Zhou Lan said the People's Bank of China will support the Shanghai Gold Exchange to participate in Hong Kong's gold clearing system through various means to help Hong Kong establish itself as an international gold trading hub and strengthen its connections with global gold markets. Hu highlighted the gold's hedging function and said the agreement carries significant strategic importance.
Building on this foundation, we aim to drive greater connectivity between the on-exchange and also off-exchange gold trading activities through the central clearing system and also key participants in the emerging Hong Kong gold trading ecosystem.
Hui also elaborated on the government's vision and supporting measures for Hong Kong's gold market development. They include supporting the airport authority and financial institutions to establish gold storage facilities with a target to exceed 2,000 tons of storage capacity within 3 years. Celine Chan, TVB News.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said his country has no intention of pursuing a free trade deal with China. He was responding to U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to impose a 100% tariff on goods imported from Canada if Ottawa went ahead with a trade deal with Beijing. Nazvi Karim has more.
Trump's latest post claims that China is successfully and completely taking over the once great country of Canada. So sad to see it happen. I only hope they leave ice hockey alone. Previously, he posted that he would not allow Canada to become a drop-off point for Chinese goods trying to evade tariffs. Carney said that the US-Canada-Mexico Free Trade Agreement prevents parties from pursuing FTAs with non-market economies without prior notification. He said Canada only rectified some issues with China that developed over the past couple of years. In 2024, Canada mirrored the United States by putting a 100% tariff on electric vehicles from Beijing and a 25% tariff on steel and aluminium. China had responded by imposing 100% import taxes on Canadian canola oil and canola meal and 25% on pork and seafood. Breaking with the United States this month during his visit to China, Carney cut its 100% tariff on Chinese electric cars in return for lower tariffs on those Canadian products. Carney has said that there would be an initial annual cap of 49,000 vehicles on Chinese EV exports coming into Canada at a tariff rate of 6.1%, growing to about 70,000 over 5 years. He noted there was no cap before 2024 and that China is expected to begin investing in the Canadian auto industry within 3 years. Addressing the issue at a press conference, Foreign Ministry spokesperson Guo Jiakun said arrangements made between China and Canada to properly address their economic and trade issues are not directed at any third party and are beneficial to world peace and prosperity. Nazvi Karim, TVB News.
Welcome back. More than half of the United States is dealing with a massive winter storm that dumped sleet, freezing rain, and snow, bringing sub-zero temperatures and halting air and road traffic. Nazvi Kareem with more.
These sledders in Oklahoma City are making the most of the monster winter storm that raged through half of the United States.
Yeah, we was here yesterday at the Sistertail Park, and then seeing the kids having so much fun, we drove all the way back to Blanchard, about 30 miles, just to get our sled and come back and enjoy the hill here.
In Washington, D.C., it was snowball fights as a few dozen revelers gathered for some fun, while a man and a woman carried a large banner that read, "Ice out for good," not referring to the weather. And in Denton, Texas, a skier and two people catch a tow ride behind a truck. However, for the most part, the conditions were brutal for at least 213 million Americans affected by the storm, bringing with it unusually colder weather. In New York City, Mayor Zohran Mamdani said at least 5 people died as temperatures plunged before the snow arrived in earnest. In Little Rock, Arkansas, the snow stopped, but life has almost come to a standstill.
When it snows, you're stuck. I think that's the biggest, change for me.
A thick blanket of snow covered downtown Philadelphia, like other cities in the U.S., dumping sleet, freezing rain and snow. The snow plows were out to clear the roads. The storm also forced a cancellation of some 11,000 flights across the country, with more than 12,000 delayed. In addition, widespread power outages affected many cities in the southeast of the country as heavy ice weighed on power lines, with at least 800,000 people without electricity. Road clearing as well in Baltimore as ice and snow made for treacherous driving conditions in dozens of cities. The ice and snowfall were expected to continue over the next day, followed by very low temperatures, the National Weather Service said. Heavy snow is forecast from the Ohio Valley in the northeast, while ice threatens the lower Mississippi Valley to the southeast. Nazvi Kareem, TVB News.
A new mural unveiled in central Tehran on Sunday contains a direct warning by Iran to the U.S. not to attempt a military strike on the country. The painted image of several damaged planes on the flight deck of an aircraft carrier bears the slogan, "If you sow the wind, you will reap the whirlwind," both in Farsi and English. The unveiling of the mural comes as the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier and accompanying warships move towards the region. U.S. President Donald Trump said the ships are being moved just in case he decides to take action. Tension between the U.S. and Iran has spiked in the wake of a crackdown on nationwide protests that saw thousands killed. The British government is unveiling plans to create a new national police force dubbed the British FBI. It will take charge of complex investigations such as counterterrorism, fraud, online child abuse, and criminal gangs. The full proposals will be discussed in Parliament today. Daniel Rowell tells us more.
Britain's new National Police Service will bring the work of existing agencies dealing with terrorism and crime, police helicopters and policing of the roads, and regional organised crime units in England and Wales under the same umbrella. UK Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood said the new body will lift the burden on the 43 local police forces in England and Wales, helping them focus solely on day-to-day crimes within their jurisdictions.
So the point of our reforms is a national police service will deal with all of the national and international crime. It will be their job to go after terrorists, serious organised criminals, fraudsters. We need a really agile national service that can keep pace with the international criminals who change their business model all the time. We'll have fewer regional forces who can focus on specialist investigations like for murder, for rape, for serious violence.
Mahmood said the current model was built for a different century and the new body will attract world-class talent, as well as helping to keep a lid on costs by moving procurement to one national force. The chief of the new force, the National Crime Commissioner, will be the most senior officer in the UK. Currently, the head of London's Metropolitan Police is Britain's highest-ranking law enforcement official. Other changes expected include slashing the number of police forces in England and Wales and changes to how police officers are recruited and managed. The revamp has been welcomed within police circles. Daniel, TV News.
The Lands Department carried out a forced demolition and clearance operation at Shekip Maze Mission Hill. This came after some individuals unlawfully occupied areas of the government land by placing recreational facilities for the use of neighboring residents. Mimo Singhai reports.
The clearance operation began on Monday morning. Workers placed removed materials and items in trolleys. A large pile of objects are seen in the area. Officers from the Food and Environmental Hygiene Department were there to supervise the operation. This woman was angry about the clearance as she yelled at the Lands Department's officers, saying they were unreasonable, and asked how had the objects created obstruction. The woman later retrieved some seized items from workers. She later explained to the media that the site's purpose was to provide a stress release space for the public, which had cost her at least $1 million to set up. But the clearance operation did not prevent some residents from playing table tennis. Some wished the government wouldn't take back the land because the space had turned into a popular exercise location that is used by more than hundreds of residents every day. Amid the lack of government recreational facilities, those who supported the government's action said the operation could stop people from taking up the entire hill, adding that the size of the occupied area had been expanding over the years. As for the table tennis facility, the Lands Department said the removal decision will be down to the Shamshui-Po District Management Committee. Moments 9, TVB News.
That's the news. Thanks for watching. Pearl Magazine is up shortly, featuring AI clones and AI-generated people. See you then. Bye for now.